From Lil Wayne to Conrad Murray, several celebrities are in the legal spotlight this week. Attorney Jonathan Burns is back here with us to give us the scoop. First of all, I said Lil Wayne, isn't it Lil Wayne?
Yeah,
how do you say his name correctly?
Lil Wayne.
We cannot talk about this topic unless I'm pronouncing it correctly. Anyway, so he is, well, in a little bit of trouble. Well, he's suing Quincy Jones III, for copyright infringement. What's going on here?
Exactly. So you hit the nail on the head there. Yeah. So he's suing Quincy Jones III, son of the renowned record producer Quincy Jones, for copyright infringement. He's claiming that Quincy Jones used some of his songs in a documentary in 2009 called The Carter about Lil Wayne's life without his permission. While, Wayne concedes that he allowed Jones to go through with the movie, he contends that he did not allow him to use the songs, and that's why he's suing him for copyright infringement.
2009, that's 2012. What's taken so long here?
It just takes a long time. I mean, the statute of limitations have not been, they have not run, so he's still allowed to move forward with the case. He filed the case back in September, and now it's just moving to trial.
Is there word they were trying to work it out amongst each other? Like, hey, dude, you may have done this to me. Let's figure this out, and it just got to this point?
I think so. I think maybe the proceeds from the movie, and I think also Lil Wayne's actually upset about the scandalous portrayal of him in the movie.
So are you hinting possibly that there are good proceeds from the movie that he probably didn't get, so now he's suing because money was made?
Exactly, and some of the biggest songs of Lil Wayne's career were used in that movie, so obviously that's very profitable.
So this will probably go somewhere, you think?
I think ultimately, Jones is seeking dismissal of the claims. He's saying he has evidence to prove that Lil Wayne gave him permission to use the songs. So we'll have to see how that plays out in court. But I don't know if you've seen the deposition video that was leaked in this case.
No, tell us about it.
So that's been viral over the internet. So the video of Lil Wayne being questioned by Jones's attorney it's hilarious.
Yeah, I just saw a little snippet. I haven't watched the whole thing.
It's hilarious. Basically, Lil Wayne is just obnoxious. He doesn't recall anything about everything. But at one point, it does get a little bit scary. It kind of goes into the realm of Lil Wayne begins to threaten Jones's attorney and basically states that the judge can't save you in the real world.
Wow.
So that was kind of concerning, and that kind of took away from the comedic nature of the whole thing.
Yeah, considering, it's on the record in video.
Yeah, so I guess.
Use your brain, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez. Okay, Jerry Sandusky, sentenced today. All eyes were up there in Pennsylvania on what was going on. Sentenced to 30 to 60 years in prison, of course, on 45 counts of child molestation that we've been talking about all year long. This is the big one.
It's terrible, and I think what really people are up in arms about is Jerry Sandusky was just completely irrational in the 15-minute hearing testimony he provided earlier in the week. He did not acknowledge any wrongdoing. Actually, to the contrary, he blamed his victims. He called them dishonest, disloyal liars who were basically conspiring against him. So
it really makes you think the state of mind that he has been living in, but now where he is, that he's convinced himself that, this is what he's going to say, and he believes this so much.
And he adamantly believes it. He wrote a letter to the judge conveying the exact same sentiments, and then an interview was leaked across campus radio where he again was labeling his victims as liars who were conspiring against him.
So hard to hear for all those brave people that came forward to law enforcement authorities. The other thing about this I read, and it's unrelated to the court system, but that apparently Jerry Sandusky will be able to, even though he's convicted now and sentenced and in prison, keep his pension money from the state, which is like more than $400,000. I was so surprised by that.
Yeah, that's shocking.
I mean, that's a law that's waiting to be on the books probably in Pennsylvania. But he can keep all that money. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, it's shocking just the way that laws are formulated in the way, and they continue to obviously be and mandated across the board. So I think that's
two separate things, of course, but it's hard to hear.
It's very difficult.
It's very tough.
Very difficult to hear.
Okay, Dr. Conrad Murray. We talked about this on the show the other day, and so Murray is living in a tiny space. He's in prison. He's 6 feet 5 inches tall, but confined to a 5 feet by 7 foot cell.
Yeah.
Life is hard. Behind bars.
Yeah.
So basically his lawyers are saying he's begun suffering, I can't read this with a straight face, has begun suffering injuries because of loss of circulation and the inhumane confinement.
Yeah. So most
people would say that's the whole point here.
The point, yeah, it's the whole point of being in prison. Yeah, but he was, his lawyers wrote a letter to the jail earlier in the week and complained about the confinement. They said it was life-threatening and permanent injuries, but he was actually hospitalized last Sunday for some circulation issues. And as you mentioned, he's 6'5". He was, housed in a 5-foot by 7-foot jail cell, but they have since moved him to an 8-foot by 10-foot jail cell, but he's still not happy. His attorneys are still complaining, and now they're really pushing for monitored home confinement.
That's never going to happen. Come on, right?
I hope so. I mean, I don't think it can happen, but let's think right here. He has another year in jail at least. So, I mean, if he continues to complain about the confinement issues, and remember now that he's confined in a secluded, isolated portion of the jail because of his notoriety, they're concerned about his safety. So that has something to do with the whole confinement issue as well.
So you think they just keep on pressing it? We are running out of time, but I just want to mention real quick, Casey Anthony getting sued.
Casey Anthony is getting sued by Zenata Gonzalez in a defamation lawsuit. Zenata Gonzalez is claiming that she has been harassed and threatened ever since Casey Anthony came up with the fictitious name Zenata Gonzalez and then accused the fictitious nanny of kidnapping her daughter Kaylee back in 2008. So that case is scheduled to go to trial in January.
That should be interesting. Jonathan Burns, good to have you on.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.